He's Nick Wright, First Things First, co-host, Fox Sports 1. Great to see you, Nick. How's life?
Oh, it would have been better if I'd have seen you, what was it, Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Does America know that you got the single most prestigious award in radio and you couldn't be deigned to show up? Do they know?
Well, I wanted to spend time with my wife.
Okay, so here's the thing. So Dan got a Marconi. I was at the awards, not because I was nominated. I, of course, when I was a radio professional, was snubbed 15 years in a row, but because my dear friend Danny Parkins was nominated for the second most prestigious award in radio, and he lost to some dope from Boston. I couldn't believe it, but that doesn't matter. I'm sure Greg Hill does a mediocre job. Whatever. Danny Parkins should have won. Does a great job in Chicago. But I text Dan. I was like, Dan, you're nominated for Broadcaster of the Year. Excited to see you. And he's like, I'm vacationing in somewhere, I don't know, Santa Fe or something. So I'm like, okay. And then Dan sent me an odd text. He was like, you can give my speech if I win. But then I was working the room and I saw DL Hughley there. And I'm like, DL and I, of course, go way back. So I was talking to him. I'm like, DL's nominated for the same category. Dan's not going to win. So I wasn't really prepared. Then they call your name. I'm like, oh, I got to go give this speech. And Dan, hand to God, I rushed the stage. And right before I got there, some dopey radio exec was like, I'm here to accept on Dan Patrick's behalf. And I'm like, that's not what Dan would want. He'd want me to go up there.
Okay, here you go. You can do your speech. And the winner for the most prestigious award in radio is Dan Patrick. Now to accept Nick Wright from Fox Sports.
Who from Fox Sports and the What's Right with Nick Wright podcast, which you can find on YouTube and everywhere else. Listen, Dan would love to be here. However, he was unable to make it due to a previous family obligation. He wanted me to convey to you guys that he's honored and touched by this. And he's a little miffed that his radio bosses didn't even tell him about the event, or else maybe he'd have shown up to it. However, with that said, I'm going to use my remaining 30 seconds to say what has really propelled Dan into his golden years of broadcasting is his eye for young talent, such as myself. And that brings me to the end of the speech, and most notably, Dan, to a wrinkle to this story that you did not know, because I have little birdies everywhere. And someone sent me yesterday your Marconi submission. And you might not even know this, but it's 90 seconds long. Here is what you submitted. Russell Wilson breaking news on your show. Scottie Pippen breaking news on your show. And then there was one non-interview submission, part of it. Do you know what it was? It was you calling me Dick wrong. That won you the Marconi. And the kicker of your submission is you saying you can find him on Twitter, get Nick Wright. Paulie, can we sign up for Get Nick Wrong?
No.
That won you the award.
That is true. That was on my tape.
I know.
That you helped me win a Marconi.
Yeah. So I know you just sent me a watch a few months back. I expect another package, and I expect that package to be the Marconi.
Okay.
I feel like I won it as much as you did.
All right. Dick wrong. You can't go wrong with Dick wrong.